Disciplined stoners. What's your discipline? You a stoner? That's cool. So are we.
I'm high a lot. It's weird to finally say that with pride. I'm high a lot. Being high has helped me with my anxiety. It's helped my social skills.
Love and light. Welcome to Disciplined Stoners Podcast with your host, Ellevan.
And my name is Winnie.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And welcome back to another episode of Disciplined Stoners. I'm your host, Ellevan.
My name is Winnie.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And today, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's back to us.
Oh, it's been holy smokes. That December, you really rocked those episodes in December 11.
Thank you. I kept it going. If you don't know, I'm editing the show. So it's up to me to make sure that these babies get out to you on time. And they did, and I'm proud of that. And for a couple days where I didn't sleep, and this is Ralph, a couple days where I didn't do anything but sleep, I just also got up and edited and ate.
Yeah.
I went back to sleep because I exhausted myself.
I know.
We're just getting off of, for those of you that watch the show consistently, you just got a whole bulk of December that was packed with guests.
Yep.
Packed with awesome people who we couldn't not just give you that as soon as we had that.
With the exception of one episode, all episodes had multiple guests.
Multiple guests. They all did.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
I think so. Yeah,
because Nico had Jordan and Nicole in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, guys, welcome back.
Welcome back. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I'm so excited.
Ellevan, how's your New Year going so far?
Really good.
What's going on?
Just like all the good music that's been like coming to me. My producer Fat Sound has been like really stepping up his game in terms of like just production and bringing me these crazy fucking beats that I'm just like blasting fucking hits to. You can miss me with the side eye. I might slide, yeah, I know I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I'm out of time, yeah, you know that it's time. You know that it's time. I got double decker flows on the road. What you know about it? Couple levels up when I move and I go around. I'm only focused on where I'm going. I don't beat around it. You know who you talking to. You can see by who's around. Double decker flows on the road. What you know about it? Couple levels up when I move and I go around. I'm only focused on where I'm going. I don't beat around it. I leave them so astounded, so astounded. All I know is that the hustle don't stop. Hustle don't stop. Hustle don't stop. You pussies want some trouble? Give me the mic and just watch. Give me the mic and just watch. Give me the mic and just. I said it for the soul and the Kalahari flow. California coast, smoke a flower to the dome. Sour with the dough, premium with the shows. You gon' pay me what I'm worth just so you fucking know. Miss me with the side eye, I might slide. Yeah, I know I'm Mr. Nice Guy. I'm out of time, yeah, you know that it's time. You know that it's time. I got double decker flows on the road. What you know about it? Couple levels up when I move and I go around. I'm only focused on where I'm going. I don't beat around it. I leave them so astounded, so astounded. Got a nice pan, it's nice then, but 11 man, no one goes in like him. No one dives in full sprint, no one does rap like that. No one is hype with jams, someone goes out with a bang like him. Just that type of man, probably never be one like him again. Found a great drive in late nights, bright light stage flight, fight backstage fright from Monday night. Rise to busking outside, to sold out show hype, to first class plane rides. Now you've seen my life. I got double decker flows on the road. What you know about it? Couple levels up when I move and I go around. I'm only focused on where I'm going. I don't beat around it. You know who you talking to. You can see by who's around. Double decker flows on the road. What you know about it? Couple levels up when I move and I go around. I'm only focused on where I'm going. I don't beat around it. I leave them so astounded. never do slip. Who's tripping on me? Fucking kidding me? I killed that.
Yeah, it's really cool. You have a very exciting year, 2 years ahead of you, it seems.
I mean, I have content for 2 years, but I'm going to give it all in one.
And probably, one. Yeah, you're going to spread it. You probably, would do 6 months if you could. I feel like you'd be like, here's everything. Because you just because you just keep making more.
Song. Yeah.
Like, it's crazy that Words in a Melody isn't out yet. That's so crazy.
Because my collaborator for that, Yannick, just fucked off. And I love that because I'm like, of course I'm creating with these type of rock stars that just dip from their life and go and follow their dreams.
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, there's that's a Fat Sound beat.
In my life.
That's an early Fat Sound beat.
I love it.
So my life is just getting a lot of clarity and this is what you're good at. This is who's on your team. This is the direction you're going. These are your next steps. I've had this level of clarity since last year really, but when you're given this kind of figment of a fresh start, even though you're on your same momentum and wave, you have to be the same person. Every athlete that shows up to the Olympics, it's not their first time running. They're on a momentum from training for years. So I've been training for years, a decade. And I'm just really sailing into that full vision of self. How about you, Winnie? How's been your beginning of the year?
Well, it's been really good so far. I think that in my head, I used to be crazy on New Year's resolutions. I loved that shit. I was just eat that shit up. And now for the last few years, I've really kind of let go of specifics because, good night. I've let go of specifics because I found that it's really tough when those specifics don't come to fruition in the timeline that you have expected or requested them to.
True.
And that could be a whole lot of reasons, there's resistance and limiting beliefs within all of us. So
in the third dimension though, it's probably usually double. Just accept it. If you think something's going to take you 6 months, it's going to take a year.
yeah.
Just double it.
Just double it. Yeah. So, but now I feel like I always get back to the last couple of years. I've gotten back to the habits that I want to create at the beginning of the year before the new year.
Right.
I'm 27th, the 28th, 29th. I start doing things because I don't want it to be tomorrow, New Year's Day is the day when my life changes. It's I know now that everything that any change that you want to make in your life takes time, and it takes consistency more than anything. And consistency takes effort when you're first starting a new habit or practice. We talk about that all the time. So
there is no dumber human behavior than I see in these streets other than blind compliance. Major pause. But then people going in the new year or tomorrow, placing a better you in the future and having no actual pragmatic discipline in the present to become that. And then you place that expectation on yourself. This is the primary way of creating disappointment is to it's called shallow or hollow expectation. It's I'm going to bench press 400 pounds. Not if you don't bench press 350, you're not. You bench press 100 right now. Why are you saying I'm going to bench press 400 next week? That's not going to happen. It's good to wish, but you got to be easy with yourself when it comes to this New Year stuff and this setting goals stuff or this I can be better stuff. It's you can be better. Are you getting better based on the actions you're presently taking? That determines if you will be better or greater or more or not.
Yeah. So that being said, did you make any New Year's resolutions?
Nah, just to keep killing it.
Nice.
Well, we did that exercise. Shout out Alicia. Alicia Rep. She has a podcast out.
Paying it forward in different unique ways that feel aligned. And then that therefore deepens me into my lessons, but also makes space for the next lesson to come through. So life is just a constant unfolding of lessons that we get to choose and decide to learn. And that's the interesting thing about the universe, is we live in a universe of free will. And God has given you all these lessons to learn, but you, as the soul, the consciousness, you get to decide when you'll learn them, right? So that's where the free will comes in. And what I've recognized in my own life is the faster I learn a lesson, which comes from dissolving the ego, looking at it just blankly, like as it, plainly as it is, no sugarcoating it or exaggerating or anything like that. It's like, oh, this is what's going on. This is the lesson here. Cool. The faster you learn that lesson and then pass it on and share the wisdom, the faster you move to that next lesson, right? And life is just a series of lessons that we get to learn infinitely, right? And so as you're evolving and elevating, the lessons get deeper and deeper and deeper, more and more profound, and the effects on your life get greater, right? So you step into a greater level of wisdom, a greater level of love, a greater level of understanding, a greater level of wealth of all of those things, knowledge and love and presence and understanding. And then that can translate into the kind of business you're creating, the kind of wealth you're allowing into your life, et cetera, right?
Instagram is called The Energy Queen. I've been working with her as a high performance coach and absolutely changed my life last year.
I only know her literally through what Evan tells me about her, and I'm in love with her.
Just one of the most incredible beings like on earth with that focus, with that clarity and that focus. So we did an exercise on quite literally New Year's Eve day, and the day before that, remember, or was it the day after my birthday? We woke up, we did like the ice plunge, we did yoga, we worked out, we ate right. I've just been being the vision I want to see.
Nice. I did something new this year that I haven't tried before. I'm creating a binder, and in that binder has categories of every area of my life. So I'll probably get like a file folder and do like categories. But the first section that I did was career orientated. So I had like acting, comedy, social media, disciplined stoners, Patreon, and I put finances in there too, because it's something that I really want to bring to the forefront of my understanding. And under that, I put goals for each one. Sometimes they're specific, sometimes they're not. And then under that, I put like either at least one, but you can do multiple affirmations that help support me when I'm feeling in lack of these things, when I'm feeling the absence of my goals. And then you put it in a neat binder, and then you look at it all the time. So you just keep it fresh in your mind. You keep those those ideas in your mind, and then you have these statements that you can refer to when either like when you need them, like when you are feeling that sense of lack, or just like on a daily basis. You can start really affirming to help solidify your vibration in these goals or things that you do want to achieve in, the first quarter even. And so you can really break it up. I found breaking things up is much easier than like hitting things all at once. Like just do a little bit at a time. You don't get that same sense of like achievement when you only do a little bit of something and then put it away.
Fuck that dopamine. We've been chasing that like shallow dopamine hit. That's also why, hey, don't talk about your dreams. Just keep them to yourself until they manifest. Like, because when you're going blah, 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 you're spreading the energy out. So you're releasing that kind of sacral momentum that your creative spirit has, but also you're getting a reaction and a dopamine hit off of the excitement from something that you haven't put the work in yet.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
just
There's
keep
some
the
analogy
dopamine
here.
to yourself. Just like keep dreaming about your dream.
Feel good inward.
Because here's the thing: you might get that reaction of people being like, "I love that for you," and you're like, "Me too."
And then
but
you-
you also might get the reaction of like, "Do you really think that's realistic?" Like,
Which most
do
times
you
you
really,
do.
you know, whatever that is. So either way, it's like it's spreading yourself too thin, essentially. And like these goals, it is good to keep it to yourself. It's a little bit harder to be accountable because it's just you and you.
No.
So you gotta find that discipline.
That is exactly where you have to learn to naturally be the most accountable. This is you versus you, baby. There's no.
I know.
Other people
I'm
don't
just saying
exist.
that like even.
What do you mean? Like you got to be accountable through other people, like someone telling you. I guess that's why having like a coach has helped.
Yeah, accountability. Accountability.
Accountability, buddy. Yeah, that's true. But you know, like that real work gets done, you versus you, in
Yeah.
fucking the dead of morning kind of thing. You know, that's what I believe in. I'm one of those David Goggins crazies. But that's what we've been going through. That's what we've been finding has been working for us, and it's been tremendous to have that clarity and offer that clarity to friends. I feel like a lot of friends have been coming to us for like idea brainstorming and workshopping.
Yeah.
And people really don't hesitate to share their honest truth with us, which is amazing.
It is so lovely.
We had our buddy Pete over yesterday, and just an open book.
Yeah.
And we were able to show him Abraham and just kind of get down on just what life, the general natural laws of this dimension, of this life. And this is called inner engineering. For anyone's curious, like, hey, when I listen to Disciplined Stoners, I feel a certain way because of their perspectives. It is us, but it's ultimately a reflection of your higher being in you resonating, feeling, oh, this is good. And what we're educated on from people like Jim Rohn, Wayne Dyer, Abraham Hicks, Bob Proctor, Neville Goddard, Louise Hay, all these folks that we've listened to and like taken in their spirit to ours and are sharing our third dimensional perspective with you, is like you're resonating because like you know that there's something neat there, even though it may be challenging. And like we remember that. Like we get so excited and motivated to keep doing what we do the more we see people essentially have their awakenings and kind of come check in with us about it. And that's just so amazing. Like and episodes from time ago, it sounds like I'm dinging our bell, but why not start the year with confidence? I'm basically saying I'm so grateful for the community that's like really taking the time to grow and share that with us and be a reflection with us in that way. So that's so cool.
Yeah.
But even had I'm gonna call him a fan, which is great. The self-proclaimed fan on Instagram, write me a DM. And they said they found, they learned of Humble through his new book. Shout out Humble, just dropped the Love book. Go get that. Amazing writer. He's been on the show, friend of ours. And this fan of Humble's did the deep dive on him and found his Disciplined Stoners episode. Makes some people nervous because they couldn't dream of actually showing up enough to do that work, to
That's
have
1,000%.
that authentic
That's the other
fucking
side
place
of
to
it,
say,
yeah.
no, bitch, this is my moment to do this, like, because I deserve it.
Yeah, and I've had those, and I even recently, probably within the last 2 weeks, I was at a friend's place, and then another friend was there, and she said something along the lines of like, Kanye West is problematic. And then I just asked him, like, have you ever heard him say anything bad about an individual? Like, has he ever said a mean thing about anybody?
Exactly.
You know, I'm like, he's loud,
and
he's confident, he gets a lot of attention, but he doesn't technically put anybody down.
And
he didn't technically bash anybody. I was like,
he was one of the first dudes in hip hop to not like really attack and to stand up for gay people too.
He was the first, yeah.
He was like, I don't understand why there's so much hate.
Yeah.
Like straight, he was wearing a pink polo. It's like some MTV interview, and he's like, there really shouldn't be that much, and no one has like done that. And I was like, that's so fucking cool.
That's and that's the thing. But and the reason I'm saying that is because it's to your point, is that level of self-love, that level of confidence You know, again, which is, I'm not saying it's perfect. We have to get out of the black and whites and look at the gray.
Yeah.
The positive sides of who that individual is, that can also make people see the gaps because they don't have it, and it makes them shrink.
And they're going to react.
They're going to react accordingly, which is, I can't be up there, so I'm going to bring you down here.
And then, like us, and my perspective through a couple of things I said there with Humble, I guess about owning your own identity or something. And that really resonated with them, and that just got me so green, you know, like my heart was so filled. Like I was like, that's amazing. And I sent them my audiobook. Like, yeah, if you want to listen to my audiobook, you can hit me up in the DM. I'll send you a Dropbox link. It's an audio experience. Yeah. If you buy and support, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I know that you can. I respect and appreciate that so much. Like, it helps, but like also I just want you to have this.
Yeah,
like,
the audio experience is definitely like really
it's
fun.
the way to go.
Yeah.
Although Jay did amazing on the art too.
Beautiful.
So it's kind of like,
I know.
you can either have this cool. What I always wanted with all of my books, they'll be like this, is you can put them up.
Nice.
Like they're a piece of art. Like I'm
Yeah.
not being intrusive. Like that's the cover of my book. It has it like the title words don't even feel like words. Shout out Jade. Like it feels like art.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know, the only words that are on there is by Ellevan, which
Yeah.
is like,
But it's even small.
it's small. Yeah.
It's humble.
Shout out Humble. But yeah, so I love that guy. So keep sending your DMs, keep sending your messages. Even if you don't, and this is so funny because I just said, hey, keep things to yourself. I mean about your manifesting, keep things to yourself, but your personal growth, I feel like the more you are vulnerable and you share that, these self-realizations, there is such a beautiful reaffirmation that consciousness does through humans when they see that reflection. And it's like, yes, here's more, you know?
I mean, and just like the more that we can talk about it together, the more that it becomes normalized. I think sometimes it's just like, it's new. It's new to talk about our feelings and it's new to take responsibility for how we react in certain situations. And we've let, for lack of a better word, incorrect reaction become socially acceptable.
The norm.
So like if fucking
Almost pressured.
If Debbie at work is being a bitch again, you know Friday night you're gonna get together with your girlfriends and talk shit about Debbie.
And there are all your girlfriends who want you to listen to their Debbies that are enabling you, telling you that you're right when I'm sorry, you're not. You're not right. If you're out of alignment, let me finish.
Okay.
If you're out of alignment, it's not right. It would be a disservice to your overall peace and happiness to focus on the blue and the red, meaning perceptually correct or perceptually incorrect.
Little Matrix.
Irrelevant. Irrelevant. How does it make you feel? That's what's correct.
Yeah.
Right. Embrace that. Embrace the love. And usually it's fucking letting it go.
Dude, and let me tell you, I think that this is like an ongoing thing for me. I'm pretty sure if I were to listen back to all of the episodes, this theme would have come up a couple of times. But I've been talking so much less shit, everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
you have.
I barely talk shit at all anymore.
Yeah.
It's such great progress, and it's still really difficult. No. That's not
shut
true.
up with those affirmations.
No, it's not even that. It's just not true. But the inkling there, it's still there, right? It's tasty beef. I just like, it's like sometimes when like someone does me wrong, when someone does me wrong in the street or whatever, and I come home, there's this inkling immediately to tell Ellevan, like, you'll never guess what just happened. When speaking about it, especially if I'm not negatively impacted at all, right? Like if I'm not physically hurt, if I'm not mentally hurt, whatever. If it was really just more of an inconvenience, and if you look at situations in your life, and
I mean,
really,
unless
like,
they're dangerous, unless you need to be told.
yeah, absolutely.
There's a line here.
No, absolutely. That's
But-
what I said. If there's harm involved, that's a different situation. But like often it really is just like,
Some guy followed me home, but I didn't want to talk about it because I don't want to drop the vibration.
no, but if it's like, you know, a coworker thing, or someone cuts you off in traffic, or someone yells at you
Some
from their
shit that
car,
doesn't need
or
to be said
like a
right
crazy
now.
person screams at you, you know, things like that, where it's like, it's a little shocking maybe, but it's not something that you need to carry with you.
Here's the thing. It doesn't need to own any more time
Exactly.
than it took up in like the real
Exactly.
sense of things. Yeah.
And I have a friend. I go to therapy. We love therapy here. All
love
good.
therapy here.
So I have a friend who goes to a therapist, and she told me something that her therapist told her was like, when dogs get shocked, very shortly after, you'll see them like shiver or shake.
Yeah.
And it's them like shaking
off.
that energy. Like they don't need to carry it anymore, and they do that, and they let it go, and they keep walking.
Dogs are the real MVPs when it comes to living in the moment.
Yeah.
They're here to teach us about the present.
Yeah, absolutely. And then their focus is on something that they know will make them happy afterwards. They're looking at their parents. They're looking at maybe another dog that's
Go lick your ass.
They're
Have some
they're
water.
enjoying the senses out in the world.
Smell. Sometimes, you know, you ever catch a dog just sitting and then just going,
I know, cute. He does that.
they're just smelling. And I mean, granted, their nose is so incredibly powerful, like 4,000 times more powerful than ours. So, like, I'm sure there's a lot there. But humans would get the equivalent of looking. Like, it's just so nice just to sometimes, like,
Yeah.
observe a neighborhood or something. But yeah, isn't that beautiful just to shake it off? That energy doesn't need to follow you, doesn't need to own you. We so often live in memory. We so often live in, this is the last kind of dramatic thing that happened to me. So if I don't report back to thinking about it, I'm not attentive to how I was treated or something, like in life, like as far as human beings
Yeah, it
go.
can get mixed up in the self-care.
You know, and then you're like, well, it sounds like you're just focusing on what doesn't please you. Is that a little bit the case? Are you in a cycle of momentum that you think is safe because it's familiar, but it's really just you pumping cortisol into yourself so you get some adrenaline from stress so you feel more equipped to deal with life because maybe life makes you a little uneasy to begin with? Like, how about these things? Take a moment to be like, I have anxiety about going out. I don't dislike this person. I just felt unprepared. So I hit myself with a hurtful memory so I could know the worst case scenario so I wouldn't be scared anymore. So I could contextualize my own behavior when I went out. Like, it's not even about that person. That person doesn't exist. They're not real. It's in your head. Like, literally, the person you're dreaming of does not exist anymore because it was in the past. Now they've had experiences that have affected them and changed them. But that's besides the point. In yourself, the Joe Dispenza book you've been reading really touches on this, creating that cycle of reality and that loop and that feedback loop on yourself. You know, we're navigating to try and find this just rightness in life because that's what we've been indoctrinated to do. When you got tests put in front of you as a kid, you were subliminally told that there's a right answer, and then it usually comes from authority. But that is not the case in life. The entrepreneur who invented things like Uber, the entrepreneur who built, you know, everything that you use today didn't necessarily come from those square modes of practice. They're receiving divine inspiration that changed this timeline. And that's more of a creative thing than anything. So how can we quantify ourselves academically? Unless it's perceptual understanding, that's fine. It's good to know how wide this is so I can tell the people who manufacture the paper that, hey, my brand Raw needs cardboard 2x1. You know, that's great. That's facts that help you navigate. But as far as self-quantization, there's no like quantifying your value in terms of how you prioritize your intelligence or focus. There's no right answer. There's no right answer. So it's completely open. So you just got to follow how you feel. But you've been reading that book.
Yeah, it's
And
been great.
That's been really giving you. Winnie likes to stick to the facts. She's really good synthetic imagination. I'm really good creative imagination. But tell us how that's been affecting you. And you've been live streaming.
I have been on Tumblr. And we do generally, like the last little while's been a little off just because there's other things going on and I still want to get my stream in. So, but generally speaking, we start with a meditation, and then we talk a little bit perhaps about what came up in the meditation potentially, and then flow form from there for the next little while, and then we do an hour of book reading on Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I have not finished this book yet, Becoming Supernatural.
Like at all?
We've gotten no, I've never finished it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've gotten to page 295, and I think there's like 357 or something pages.
And she knows the pages even.
Well, I just saw it yesterday. So, and we're on page like 195 now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and
Isn't
people,
that great?
People actually seem to. There's a few people, like maybe a handful of people that like have been reading along and really enjoy it.
Oh my God.
And that's so nice. So
I love that.
And it's very interesting. I mean, he uses so many examples of people who essentially cure themselves. Like that's the big thing, right? Like you get a disease and then you cure yourself, and everyone's like, how the fuck did that happen?
It doesn't make sense.
The medical science isn't there. Like we thought you had 2 months to live, and now it's 10 years later, and we don't know what the fuck.
The science doctors who treat you like a client who your declining health would be of best interest to secure their job didn't give you the analysis that you could rescue yourself from internal practices and taking holistic control of your own health and self-perception to heal yourself and move your energy. They told you that you were going to have to take their pharmaceutical bullshit while they walk you slowly to a grave, milking you for every cent you're worth.
So to touch on that a little bit.
But Dr. Joe Dispenza gives you those clinical, factual experiences that people need to believe.
Yeah, and even in the book, I think most people need to see it. It's the 4 minute mile.
Humans don't. Yeah, that's right.
It's the 4 minute mile. So
humans don't believe yet.
Even a lot of the examples that he uses, a lot of times it's someone seeing someone else have done healing in a similar with similar dis-ease in their body, and they're like, oh well, if they can do it and they had all of these symptoms or they had this type of disease.
I mean, same when you hear like a kid from the hood made it out.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
If you see, like seriously, we all need to see it.
So like just that in itself is like, obviously if you're the first one, or if you don't, if you have no example of what healing looks like for you,
very hard.
Decide to be the first.
Well, that's what we've been learning, especially over the holidays and reflection of even spending time with family and like creating new momentum in your life, is like you have to be the safe space for other people to grow, meaning standing up and being the weirdo, to forgive, and be that first one. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's intense.
And if that really isn't working for you, honestly, scour the internet.
It's out there.
If you need to see it before you can really get on board with what it is, like start searching. There are people out there that are curing themselves all the time.
And like in the exact same situation as you, the number one thing I hear, so where wellness starts with me, like how I understand it personally through my own virtue, disciplines and talking to people who have established great discipline for themselves, it starts in meditation. Do you have a meditation practice? So for me, there's no building a billion-dollar company until you have a meditation practice, until you're like very aware of your center and very aware of what you're attracting into your life and what these lessons look like as they come to you, because you'll start acing chapters in life if you objectively look at just what they're there to teach you. And that's kind of the esoteric aspect of it. But like when you see, the matter evolve, whether it be your health, your finances, your spiritual practice, your relationship with others, whatever manifestation you want to create in your life of betterment, like it will be because of a new behavior that you've decided to take on. So if you're one being right now with certain traits and certain patterns of thought, well, all that has crescendoed up to the point of your life now. So if you want to look at what you have now and what caused it, just check out your past and the patterns you've been doing, and asking yourself those hard questions like, not just will I meditate, do I find it hard to meditate? Why? Or I find it, so there's always an excuse, right? My family's here, my wife doesn't support it, my husband doesn't support it, my partner doesn't support this and that. You're reaching outside of yourself, excuse. Now this is your old cycle of patterns that is like giving your life this destination of perhaps you'd like to evolve it.
And if you haven't watched our episode on oscillating, go there because...
But give them an insight on that because, yeah, vacillating.
Vacillating?
Or oscillating?
Yeah, going in and out, yeah. Because you have to be okay with the fact that you're going to make some progress and then you're also going to degress
Yeah.
for a little while. And
I look at it as 10% intervals.
nice.
Like it's like you want to create a full new pattern of behavior. You're at 0 if you don't have it yet. And spark that.
Okay.
You're at 0 and you want to get to 100, right? Fully instilled, fully crystallized, fully manifested new behavior trait and understanding and perception. So you're going to go, it doesn't just go boom, 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 boom. That would be easy, right? That'd be like, oh, a month, you know? You're going to go, oh, I get it, 10%. Oh,
Yeah. Right on your face.
like completely back down to 0. Oh, okay, I get it. Next time I go, I'm going to go double as far and I'm going to get it. And you think you're going to 100 and you're going to go and go completely back down. And then what starts to happen is your low is where the last one was. So you're back down, not to 0, but to 10 when you're at 20. So your floor raises. And that sort of progression, I originally got this analogy from Lonnie of Pixel Dreams, who's a co-founder of this creative agency that really kind of took me under their wing and taught me a lot in the beginning of my career. My logo, thanks to them. And she was just talking about quality of life, but like I'm talking about the journey towards self-awareness, like if you're learning a sport or skating or rapping or something, like you're going to vacillate up and down, in and out of the clarity of 100%. Again, not to put anyone on blast, but our friend last night and several friends, they'll come to me with this. They've gotten maybe about 40%, right? They've been in the mindful. They consider themselves a mindful person. The ego identity says, I'm taking the initiative to be more self-aware and mindful. So they've been in the personal practice. Now they have to go to their in-laws for Christmas, and we've all been there and all made human mistakes. And you got to go to this friend's house with
Everywhere that triggers you.
Everywhere that triggers you.
Everywhere that you've had issues with, and you used to be a person and now you're a different person. So when you go back into that situation, it's a weird vibration because everyone expects you to be who they thought you were, and now you're different. So it's just literally like, and that doesn't
So here's what happens.
Freaks people out.
If you were 100% certain on that new clarity, their behavior and perception of you, or your anticipated assumption of what they think you to be, wouldn't affect you.
Yeah. You could sit with their discomfort unaffected.
But lots of times we get the report, and what we've felt ourselves too during our oscillation vacillating period towards knowing this pattern of taking control of your internal emotions, this inner engineering, which sounds like a good title for this episode, actually.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, is they'll go, well, now I'm upset because they are low vibration. So thanks to Dr. Wayne Dyer, we know you don't absorb energy, you match it. So you could have held steady in a higher vibration for them to join you, even though they don't cognitively know the awareness practices like you might at this time, like meditate, breathe. These like kind of tiptoeing into the culture of mindfulness, these practices probably have you found, even if it's just thinking positive thoughts like affirmations or prayer. This is good, but what happens is when you're about halfway, you go, oh, these people don't understand. They're less than me. And your ego identity is like, having a field day with this, because there is no better right than God right. There's no better right than thinking, oh, these people are going to hell. Like meaning like presently. Like this used to be a thing when God, Jesus Christ, the fake Italian story or whatever, the Jerusalem guy. Oh, going hard. I can trace how the Bible is an internal guide. We'll go there another time. I'll have to do a rant about that, maybe with Winnie out of frame. But anyway, you're going, hey, fuck these people still. Even though it's in the name of being right with God in alignment. But you're not in alignment anymore if you're looking down on someone. You're not actually connected anymore. You've let observing these people and the idea of their assumption of you pull your vibration down.
Yeah. But
don't blame them, because that's the beginning of the end for you. That's relinquishing your power to someone else. As soon as you blame them, they made me. They what? No, you did. By your own free will, your affirmation is my conscious choice of being a limitless creator. I say where my vibration goes. Now that's the only truth.
And I think that where it gets complex is that when you're in those situations and hold yourself in that state, and there's clearly a electric shock happening between the frequencies of all parties.
There's
Yeah. There might be a moment where you feel misunderstood.
Oh, for sure.
And
you got to get rid of that need to be understood or feel understood.
Or you got to just live in the truth that understanding yourself is enough. So, like, I think that when you feel that sort of ache that happens sometimes in any situation that, you know, was old and you feel new and going back to that old situation, be easy on yourself. Like, don't just be like, oh, like, don't feel it and then be like, oh, I still love them. I still love them. They're good people. I like feel it and be like, I'm having an emotional reaction right now because I'm feeling misunderstood. Call yourself out, because you're going to find some compassion with yourself when you're just honest of like what's actually going on. And you're like, well, ultimately, like, they don't mean to misunderstand me. Ultimately, that's just what I'm currently receiving out of this information. So what can I do for myself to self-soothe so I can stay with myself and my frequency? And fuck, it takes practice. Again, you're going to go back and forth. You're going to freak out in a situation, and then you're going to be like, well, that wasn't my finest moment, you know?
And realizing those moments, you're not going to teach anyone but yourself, right? You're not going to teach them. They're not, they cannot receive that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you manifested them in your experience, as fucked up as that seems, whether it's the homeless guy in the corner that yelled at you or your mother-in-law's drunk again. What, like, doesn't matter. Like, you want to deny and resist that they belong in your experience because you think you're vibrating at 742 and they must be all the way down at 150, but you're at 6 and they're at 5. and that sucks, to think you're further along than you are. But that grit that us mindful practitioners get by learning to want to fail. I said that to Humble the other day. We were talking. I said, I used to wish I was right. Like I'd say things and hope they were right. Like many times, like me and Humble were here talking and we were going deep, and sometimes I'm like, here's the vulnerable thought and here's the like, I think this will be a good thing to say thought, and I went with this one until our relationship got deeper. Then I started to reveal more and more. But like, you know, first making impressions in relationships, it's like I used to want to be right. Now I hope I'm wrong, because if you can teach me something in the exchange, That's the vine. That's the money right there. That's that money. That's value. That's like, that's everything. So if we kind of like pray to be guided, and when I say pray, I just mean mentally affirm, to be guided rather than to always be right, because that's not what this is. This whole dimension is a distortion filter, and it's whatever you want, whatever distortion you want it to be. And you can just allow yourself to like gracefully guide into these beautiful, enriching lessons that are really fulfilling to know and to feel your way into and have those realizations. And you really got to submit yourself and let yourself go through the evolution.
And if you don't know where to start, over at our Patreon, we have daily affirmations.
Yeah,
so
we do.
You can head there every day. You don't need to go find these affirmations. You don't need to make them up yourself.
We write them for you.
Head to our Patreon. It comes with a nice
$5 a
little
month.
behind-the-scenes photo of either
$5
one of
a
us
month.
or both of us.
You can do $10 a month if you want. If you can afford it, you can do $25 a month.
And also, just to get excited, we have a shoot day shooting some movement content and some meditation content that's coming your way towards the end of the month. So
if you're watching this on, well, I guess we'll drop it everywhere, but it will be on YouTube, unlisted to Patreon first.
yeah.
Just like everything.
Yeah.
Everything
this
goes
is
to
gonna
Patreon first.
Yeah, this is going to be relatively exclusive, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, we have a meeting on Monday, but
Winnie just holds it all till the
I
professional
decided-
meeting.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I got an idea now. Put it in the books.
Yeah, I think that we're going to make our Patreon something.
I think we're gonna we have made our Patreon something. By the time this is out,
for like a year now, and
Yeah.
I've been like, thanks for sticking with us, patrons.
those
Which
who
honestly,
have stayed,
thank you so much.
Tanya, I think, is one of them.
I think, yeah.
Is Phoebes on there? Or
No, I don't think so.
Glow's been in and out,
In and out. Chris,
which is understandable. Chris always, thank you.
Kayla,
Just thank you for checking it out.
Victoria, Tay.
Here's what I'll tell you. Let's let him in. Let's let him in on what Patreon is for
Sure,
us. It's the community. It's the exclusive community for us, right? And as far as that house party goes, we've only put out like chips and pop. Okay, so I'll put that analogy. But what our real house party is kombucha, shrimp skewers, fresh veggies, joints rolled everywhere. Come in, kick your feet up, music's going, vibes going. We left the overhead lights on and put out chips and pop.
Yeah.
And I accept that
Okay, listen.
because, can I finish?
Yes.
That's secretly not entirely, well, it is true, and it's a funny analogy, but between me and Winnie, we've been making the step, well, and also it forms an opportunity for you guys to support the show financially, which is kind of towards my next point here, is like we've been working towards making this our central business together, which is great because we're both entertainers and contractors, but to like build this together, and that's taken us to become self-aware of our strengths and what roles we should be playing. And I produced the show. This started by me doing everything, and when he's like, I'll only do this if I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I said that.
You literally said that,
Yeah.
and I took that deal for like a year.
Yeah.
And then
Now he gets pissed if I'm not contributing.
I'm not pissed. I'm just kind of expecting you to pull your weight, which just looks like me being pissed. Apparently, but fine. I'll take it. Say goodnight to the bad guy. Gulper. Anyway, so what this has been is Winnie's side. You've watched Winnie become an entrepreneur. You've watched Winnie learn to do things without an employer telling her to. You've watched her expand as a being and a value provider. Because like as an actor, you get hired and told what to say. It's true. So we're being very transparent here. I put myself on blast. So
This helped me like become a comic.
pretty much.
Like, I wasn't like this. I found
Yeah, talk about the year.
like a voice here. I was so scared all the time, you guys. I was so fucking scared that if I said something that someone didn't like or appreciated or got offended by, that they wouldn't like me, and then I couldn't keep them in my like Rolodex of people that I can count on if I need something.
That's how the little sister syndrome of your situation built you to build community and safety for yourself.
Yeah.
I think
I don't even think that I like know really who I am.
That's a beautiful thing to be able to say.
I think that I've been so influenced by so much.
Good.
Not and you know, friends and family is one thing, but just like by society. Like I let myself get influenced so much by society, and I'm finally just like, oh fuck, I can just be like whoever I am today. Like whoever I am today is going to be fine. It's going to be fine for my social medias. It's going to be fine. Like I'm so disgusted right now by like putting up something for the sake of my career, like putting something out into the world on my social media for the sake of my career and my brand. And I'm so disgusted by how many women I see being like, that's just the way the industry is still. Like, I literally just saw that yesterday on Instagram. Some woman was like, remember that your social media is like, it potentially going to be dependent on if you get a job or not. Like, if you're messy on social media, like, that person's not going to want to work with you because they don't want to work with a mess. It's like, we're human fucking beings, guys. We're messy. Like, can we start just being honest with ourselves? It's ridiculous. I'm obviously dealing with like some emotions.
Sick, good. I love that. This is music to my ears.
But
stop bullshitting.
Yeah.
Fuck them. That's the best way to do it, because the roles that are really meant to find you will want the mess. And like, you're just like not fulfilling that vibration. I think that, man, I've spent so much time around like the world's best influencers. Like by design, I've been at Playlist Live for like not the first year, but 2nd to 7th year. I went every year. So like by design, I mean, America is the capital of the world of influencer culture. That's where Facebook and Instagram stuff were started. And this was like pretty much the biggest, besides Comic-Con, which is a little more traditional media, this was the center of the universe for influencers. Now, I got the opportunity to know a lot of these folks on a more personal level, only to realize that those perfect images that are portrayed are super respectably well crafted and super thoroughly, sometimes with extensive hiring of media minds to get involved and build this brand with you. So it's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And it's a great business if you can treat it like that and respect it as that. But you see, that's not the case. Like that happiness, that perception is not the case. I've even started to go, when people are like, this is one of the happiest guys I know, I'm like, you believe the bullshit too? Like I'm cheesing myself about being this like super always on positive. Now I am like hood optimistic, like a level of optimism that just doesn't make sense. Like I say to Alicia, like just stupid blind confidence. Like I want to go from having 5K months to having 100K months, like for no reason. But I'm like, well, what are they requesting of that value? I'm sure I can find it. Like I'm sure I have it in myself. Like I have confidence that makes no sense. But really, like that doesn't always mean like I'm happy. Like my optimism isn't always coming from like I'm in a good mood, so I want to do something. It's like I have this much time on earth. I got to execute while I can. Now, mood and state has to be irrelevant. I got to find a way to move outside of being a victim of my own emotions. And, like, I had that affirmed so many times by these fucking millionaires that were doing so much better than me on a professional front, but personally and inside and behind the scenes, all depressed, all dependent on toxic relationships or fake ones or...
I mean, that happened to me. That's why I'm revolting now, because with Bath Time Tuesdays, I
blew up
created
a
a personality.
right?
And I really tried to keep that personality like on with my online brand, and then I created Dear Brave Ones, and that was just like a bit of toxic positivity as well. And
kind of you being scared and wanting to kind of covet the sheep. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, we'll all be soft together.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, hey, life takes work. It's hard. Sorry, get over it.
yeah.
Let's grow together and try the best we can.
Because that's what I needed. Like, I needed to know that.
Just be soft. It's okay.
Well, that's what I was trying to cultivate. But what I needed to know, no thank you, is that I wasn't doing the work.
Yeah.
I was like running away every time I got depressed, and I didn't have the tools to talk about it. It was pre-therapy. Like, there's all these tools that I have now that are helping me really manage states of depression and anxiety. And like Ellevan had said earlier, like, it started for me in meditation. And so
Why did you start meditating?
that's why I've been meditating on and off. Like, the first time I sat to meditate, I was like 6 years old.
What?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Because
I
of
didn't know that.
because of Fiona, actually. I think I
Are
saw
you
her.
serious?
Yeah.
Can you explain who Fiona is?
She was like a family friend that
Crazy bitch, though.
seemed, probably from the inside and outside looking in. She just was a troublemaker. That's what I'm going to leave it at. I'm going to say that she was
A mischievous, playful soul.
Oh yeah, a mischievous, playful soul who was a great
She said
family friend.
Your mom needed her friendship.
Yeah. And so I've tried meditating, and I remember when we were in 703, like doing Deepak Chopra's and Oprah's 21-day meditations.
You always found the cognitive way there first.
Yeah, so like they would do those 4 times a year, and I would join in every time and meditate for 21 days, and then and that was like a 10-minute meditation, so kind of a big one. And then I would stop meditating until the next round came.
Because you respond well to structure.
Yeah. So that's kind of my experience with meditating. And obviously, like, I didn't know it at the time, but yoga offered me a meditative state.
Yes.
Again, not meditation like we like to do, meditation in stillness, but yoga offered me flow state that is a similar movement in the body when you're meditating, I guess. So
Very, very...
thank you.
You can contemplate in yoga, but very in the moment, because the moves are so simple yet demanding that, like, you kind of get lost in that sensation.
We're talking about Bikram yoga specifically.
Yeah. Bikram yoga, yeah. I've never done, like, dry yoga. Seems fucking weird.
You've done vinyasa, but in the heat, and you've done yin and in the heat.
Yeah, but like when I saw a yoga class and they were just doing it in a normal room or like at a gym, that's fucking weird.
Well, you know
like
what
if
happens.
you've tried that yoga and you don't like that, and then you're like, I don't like yoga. No, you don't like weird fucking lunchtime yoga. You should go to like a sweaty ass room and like feel your body become fucking loosey goosey, buddy. So that's how you get the cranks out, not some weird fucking. Take your socks off, you know what I mean?
So, I'll challenge you there and say
You fucking want to challenge
that a hot room, I think, is an easier place to start in yoga because of its access. You're right. Like, you do get more access physically in hot yoga, and you actually have to be mindful of that.
Right, not to go too far.
Yeah. In room temperature
It lubes you
yoga,
up.
which is generally a hatha practice,
Hatha.
you use the inhale, exhale breath that creates an internal heat in the body. So you actually still technically should be, if you're doing the yoga properly alongside your breath that you're supposed to maintain in a vinyasa practice, you should be getting like a really good workout in. It's just that most people don't match their breath to that extent.
Okay, honestly,
Yeah.
breath is like really everything. I've even broken down the act of smoking, whether you take a cigarette smoke break or smoke cigars or smoke cannabis. It's a practice of going and focusing on nothing or something if you like, and just, but like probably nothing, and just like breathing, like, sure, it's joined by the smoke, but like you're basically going. And it's so funny, Humble's coming up the third time in this episode. Shout out Humble. He told me that the sick like religion cats, like they would get very high on their breath. They would do breath work and get like very, very high. Like you could get like an elevated state of high from breath work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All you're doing is oxygenating the body. So the more, and we don't use the full capacity of our lungs at all.
Yeah.
So if you train yourself to like be able to increase your lung capacity, which I will say Bikram yoga absolutely does because of its starter breath exercise. But if you train your lungs to take in more and then you sit in deep breathing practices, sometimes feels like it's hyperventilating because you're taking in you 100% more oxygen's getting to your brain. Shit goes on then for sure. Absolutely. You could probably go into a place of trance, remote viewing, lucid dreaming, like all of these sweet things.
Yeah. Yeah. And like when we do the Wim Hof before we do the ice plunge, which we should probably do again.
Yes. I put that under my spirit thing, the goal thing that I was talking to you about. I made one for spirit.
You want to do it
this
today?
time.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Sweet. Awesome. We'll live stream it. Okay. We'll live stream it on Diaz. All right. Yeah, man. Fuck. Great episode.
Yeah. Oh, I have. It's time.
My God.
Is it time?
That was like, I feel like we just opened our like threshold of this show. Like this show, I know what Joe Rogan was saying now when he says this does its own thing. This is a thing of its own. And it's because of that A-frame of we know our audience. Like, oh, shout out Discipline Stoners Instagram, 15 hundo and growing.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thank you. And it's because of this kind of pull. We can feel the conjuring of the information of our expression. It's like it's to a clear, focused point now. And like that's just like how to be happy, how to be better, how to give more. Like these kind of general central places that we kind of drive everything back to make the best out of it, to like take the lesson out of it. So it's kind of fun to like return to this perspective with you and being a filter for goodness, and to focus on that. But yeah, definitely check out our Patreon. I celebrate Winnie's dedication to it. She's doing the I am affirmations there. And we're shooting some really cool content this weekend that will live there. So go check out Patreon.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what I left the Patreon in Winnie's hands. That's another thing I want to say. Like, I haven't helped on purpose because, like, I'm just getting her back for me producing the show for a year.
You literally were just like...
I was like, this got to be your route to entrepreneurialism because it has the squares and lines that you like.
When we started Patreon, it was just you being like, Patreon. And I'm like, yeah. Like, you just saying Patreon for like 6 months. And then I was like, fuck, I got the laptop. And one night we just created it.
Yeah.
And then, and I was gung-ho at the start because I was doing some like...
Because you're an employee and that's how you get excited about
Zoom
jobs.
exercises.
You trick yourself into doing
But they weren't even, like, they're not good quality.
They're not
That's
good.
the thing also, like, if you're here from the beginning,
Yeah,
you
thank
have
you.
seen us change
like
and grow.
Chris and Glow for
Yeah.
sure. Carrie's a new fan too.
Tay for sure.
Tay, yeah.
For sure.
We can name them and we can continue to go. But I just want to say, I know we've secured that these folks are cool with us using their names, so I know that much. But yeah, thank you guys. And it's only going to continue to grow and get better. So that's the good news.
Yeah.
Like
we're not stopping, so.
Yeah, we started with like not as good audio, not as good. Like Matt gave us these.
I know, we're blessed.
Like Matt gave me this.
Yeah.
Like, because he just decided to stop doing his podcast in that fashion. So like, we've manifested these things along the way.
He gave us this table.
Yeah, and actually this camera came from my other friend. Like, thank you, bless you guys, bless our friends, and the universe is providing things as we go to you can't go back and look because I've scrubbed them.
Yeah, we got it. We had to get rid of the YouTube.
Just because it's embarrassing. Like if like, because now people, since we're doing so many shows like Kind and stuff, and we're doing another one here we're booked for next month or something with Kelly. People are, there's more access in the industry to us, so people are asking us about sponsors and stuff like that.
And
those
speaking of
so I had to take that.
sponsors, we got to shout out Prohibition Farms.
Dude, oh my God, right. I made an awesome brand song for them. They had me create something for their brand. And guys, we smoked on some chem mints right now. That is just so incredible.
This shit's crazy. Like, these are the nicest joints I've ever rolled because the flower is so easy. I'm not even going to say, it's not even like, you know, sometimes when it's too sticky and you're like, fuck, get off my finger. And then
it's perfectly sticky.
It's perfect.
It's like
so...
I don't know how you do this.
Unexplainably moist, like the perfect amount of moist, like an angel cake.
Yeah, and it's like it's dense but not hard rock dense. It's like perfect weed kind of like
smooth, so smooth,
like the
and
hairs,
tasty.
like
the smell on everything is out of control. These flavors.
Okay, that's chem mints. That's what we're smoking today. I gotta just pass me the red Congo. And I gotta try and explain the profile to you guys about this Asahi. They have, the cool thing about Prohibition Farms is they have a couple cultivars that are like theirs and their own, and like that they like do, and that's so fascinating. They've perfected the red Congolese. Like, there's myrcene for sure. There's some citronine. You're getting that sativa type whack, like fresh right up front. Limonene, maybe caryophyllene, like that clean, a little soapy, but like it's super. I don't smoke sativas, but I smoke this. I can smoke this all day until I just want to like room, because it does give you a little boost, like you had a juice or a cappuccino or something. But like, yeah, so that's that. That's the red Congo.
It's so nice.
Like, so basically, I got this for Win.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
When I had it this morning, I was like, that's crazy. That's so nice, so functioning. Like, I can just, so beautiful. I can function on it just like a human. I can function better on it than I'm functioning right now.
Well, this is chem mints.
I know.
We're smoking the chem mints. No guarantee that you can function on the chem mints.
Our producer of Rhythm and Flow gave Ellevan this beautiful stash box with our poster on it. So cool. I think, am I holding for... No, I can put it down. All right.
So good.
Well, while you're...
As we were giving Prohibition Farms a shout out, I just wanted to like legit talk about the weed for a minute because absolutely crazy. So we got Red Congo there, chem mints. Love this Buzz Box. Shout out Buzz Box.
Yeah,
Tiffany
sick.
OG.
Oh man.
What a beautiful, rich, clean smelling. Like,
look at that. Look at that bud. It's the size of my pinky finger.
Oh my God. Yeah, the Tiffany, I don't know what it is. It was because when I first tried it, wasn't a top contender, but it really grew on me because the cerebral effect of the high as well. Like Tiffany OG. Okay, but
it's surprisingly gassy.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
okay, but the acai, it's sweet.
God, that's good.
And hoppy and like mango-ish. Like,
I think I find this berry like.
Well, there's fruit. Whatever it is fruit.
Or like, yeah, pineapple.
I was gonna say pineapple.
Yeah, pineapple.
Yeah, Tiffany OG has that earthy sweet gas.
Yeah, hit that again. It's so good. Hit it again, bro.
Yeah, the pineapple for sure, and the acai. Oh, and these buds are just so unique, full of hairs. The actual grass of the bud. It's a grass. I'm using kind of amateur explanation words here, but like the actual bud is like a light green, but this bud looks red because the hairs are so red and like full and abundant. And you got this dark green pinene underneath. And then the hairs have this sparkling.
Is it part tuna?
Pineapple. Because that's sweetness, eh? Like. my
Oh,
God.
yeah, the sweetness. And it's a little tart right at the end. It's so interesting. Very cool.
Asahi. Have
Thank
to
you
smoke
so
one of these
much.
next. But yeah, if you guys haven't heard that song yet, give Prohibition Farms a follow on Instagram, and you can hear the song that I made for them. Just a jingle.
Welcome to the show, let me open that door. Wake up every day, what you got to look towards? I be chillin' smoking, yeah, I'm puffin' on the porch. Prohibition Farms is the top level source. I just got a bag and I'm looking for more. 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 3 ounce, 4. Wish I had this when I was out on tour. Trichrome sparkle like chrome's on 4s. Yeah, I rep the 6, that's 2 plus 4. But when the West Coast heat comes through the door, I'ma chill out like I soothe that aura. Asahi flower, what a beautiful odor. This got a taste so you never get bored of. This is that heat like you're living in Florida. Tiffany OG in my order. Red kind gold, beat the banger like a drummer. Stood up, you gon' see something new today. Fresh drops, quad tops, only fire in my J. Suit up, stood up, you gon' see something new today. Fresh drops, quad tops, only fire in my J. We gon' feel good tonight. That's right, get you something to light. Make sure that strain's a winner. Prohibition Farms got you right.
If you want an 11 jingle for your business, brand, or company or event, holler at me. I do them. Yeah, and they're always fun, always a good time, and so glad that we could get that one going. And I love this weed from Prohibition Farms, so thank you. Shout out again.
Yes, thank you. And now it's time for a
fact.
Your brain's storage capacity is considered virtually unlimited. Research suggests that the human brain consists of about 86 billion neurons. Each neuron forms connections to form other neurons, which could add up to 1 quadrillion, 1,000 trillion connections. Over time, these neurons can combine, increasing storage capacity.
That's wild. I kind of feel that though. Like, there's no limit. You can't tell me that like my brain can't learn Russian and piano and know how to drive and learn to drive a boat and a plane and like have sex and work out, and like there's no depth, there's no blockage to the depth of like what your brain's capacity can handle if you focus. It's basically just like within your lifetime, can you as one central point of being collect enough relevant information to expand your performance or enhance your experience?
Yeah. I just want to tell you something right now about the Patreon videos. Remember when I said they were going to live on Patreon?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have like ideas. Like, I just want to say it out loud
Right
so I
now?
don't forget
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Great.
I'm going to do like a 5-minute ab exercise in one of the workouts, and we're going to cut that and put it on YouTube and say, go get the rest of it.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Patreon.
See, we're
so you're
letting you
still,
in.
So you're still going to get a little something off of the Patreon
So
content.
stay
but you're
subscribed
not
to our
gonna
YouTube.
Get all of it.
Will people on Spotify and stuff where there's applicable videos, will we publish it there? Will they get it? Or
It
is that
seems
just
like-
on our YouTube?
Probably Spotify too.
Why not, right?
I don't know. Yeah.
Why not put it out some more?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay, cool.
Sick. Sounds good. I should read something.
Oh yeah, I forgot that we do that. We haven't done this in so long. It's so nice to be back.
I know. I love this. This is like home. This is the original.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone watching these. We enjoyed doing Kind so much and meeting people, and we've been to Lit Research since since our last interview came out with Alshevsky, and we're just having such a good time out here.
And Lit treated us so well. Thank you, Blue.
Yeah.
And everyone there, they were so cool.
Yeah, everyone was great. It's
really
a great space.
Stuff.
Go check it out.
Yeah, Lit Research definitely needs your support. The fact that it wasn't packed blew my mind.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be packed. Let's go, Toronto.
Yeah.
Please choose a word between 1 and 222.
Elephant.
111. Oh, I turned to 101.
Oh, that's
I turned to
interesting.
100.
I think that's fine.
Okay. Sleep. Okay, I'll pick up where I see first. Actually, the first bit is, okay, so feeling is the secret, Neville Goddard, chapters on sleep. Picking up where we left off. React to the day's drama, but the drama, the actions, events, and circumstances of the day have already been determined. Unless you consciously and purposely define the attitude of mind with which you go to sleep, you unconsciously go to sleep in the composite attitude of mind made up of all feelings and reactions of the day. Every reaction makes a subconscious impression, and unless counteracted by an opposite and more dominant feeling, it is the cause of future reaction. Ideas enveloped in feeling are creative actions. Ideas enveloped in feeling are creative actions. One more time. Ideas enveloped in feeling are creative actions. Use your divine right wisely. Through your ability to think and feel, you have dominion over all creation. While you are awake, you are a gardener selecting seed for your garden. But except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abideth alone. But if it die, it bringeth forth much fruit. That's a quotation in the book. Your conception of yourself as you fall asleep is the seed you drop into the ground of the subconscious. Dropping off to sleep, feeling satisfied and happy compels conditions and events to appear in your world which confirm these attitudes of mind. Sleep is the door into heaven. What you take in as a feeling, you bring out as a condition, action, or object in space. So sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. As in consciousness, so on earth.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
Was sick. Okay, so I've actually been just the last 3 nights. We do affirmations before we go to bed. We are pretty good right now. We're on a roll, and I'm just gonna keep this
Thank you.
train going.
Neville.
But after we do our affirmations, I also have been implementing silent visualizations and other affirmations that are more suited just to like my career and stuff, like personally, and affirmations for like who I want to see, kind of like a prayer. I've kind of been implementing
That's
prayer.
the next chapter.
Oh, nice.
It's prayer.
Before bed, and honestly, so much more helpful when you wake up in the morning.
Life's better when you dream what you think, what you want.
Yeah.
Okay, I love you guys.
Love you. That was fun.
It's been another great episode. Thank you, Winnie, for sharing.
Happy New Year.
Thank you, Ellevan, for sharing. You're welcome. Happy New Year, guys. May all of your manifestations be the best possible versions of them. Again, check out our Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube, send me money directly on PayPal. All these are good to help support the show. If you are a brand person or thing that would like to get a brand song, holler at me on Instagram or write me an email at ellevanmusic@gmail.com, ELLEVAN music@gmail.com. Ralphie's cute. I'll bring him back in here for the closing. Any closing notes?
Yeah, it's a full moon tomorrow night, which is when this comes out. And it's tonight. So it's a full moon tonight. So good time this full moon to stay inward, keep everything just sort of moving in through your own body. Stay away from drama. It's a pretty
Which
emotional
means
one.
When a human says the double negative, which compounds the momentum in that direction, by the way, because there is no assertion, there is only what you focus on. When she says stay away from drama, she means focus on the better feeling thing instead.
Yeah. And like,
Positive
yeah,
language.
just enjoy yourself. Take some time in the next couple of days. It's a good time to just get squishy with yourself.
Squishy like Ralph.
Love you. Happy New Year.
Good job, guys. Congrats on everything. We're happy. We're excited. We'll see you soon.
May this year be full of a lot of growth.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
That's Ralph. You want to say anything, Ralph?
Sweet.
Before we go?
Cute, kind little guy.
We should put him on the table
Good
just so they
boy.
can see
okay,
how
just
cute.
careful.
I know, but just here you go. Nice guy. Looks so polite. Doesn't even want to stand on the book.
He doesn't stand on
Nice
the book.
guy.
Sweet. I'll take this.
Sweet
boy.
guy. You just hang out here and let him see how cute you are.
Nice.
Disciplined stoners. What's your discipline? You a stoner? That's cool. So are we.
I'm high a lot. It's weird to finally say that with pride. I'm high a lot. Being high has helped me with my anxiety. It's helped my social skills. Well, it's helped me feel okay about my shitty social skills. It doesn't make my social skills better, but it sure does make sitting in that awkward moment in a social interaction a lot more bearable. You know, that moment where no one in the group has anything left to say, and you desperately want to yell at all of them, just say something. Being high makes that hilarious and not torture.
Yo. It's Ellevan from Anger Town. This plant just helped me chill out. Found focus. Found confidence. All of a sudden I was productive. Less protective. More progressive. Yeah, we talk about stuff like I'm a next sommelier. But this is about a medicine, baby. We wish everyone a mindful life. It's been a helpful tool for us. Whatever the route to peace, it's each individual's journey. And the more we communicate, maybe we can all help each other out. Love and light. Welcome to Disciplined Stoners Podcast with your host Ellevan.
And my name is Winnie.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And that's Ralph.